I don't think we should see each other anymore. I blinked. What? Daniel shifted in his seat, not looking me in the eye. It's my mom. She doesn't think we're right for each other. I laughed because what else could I do? Your mom. She says we come from different worlds. You're seriously breaking up with me because your mother told you to? He rubbed the back of his neck. She just wants what's best for me. And that's not me. He finally looked up and his eyes didn't hold an answer. It's guilt. Silence. I swallowed hard. After 2 years, Daniel. After everything. You let her call the shots. She's my mom. M. No, don't M me. I could feel my voice rising. Does she sleep in your bed too? Okay? Make your decisions. Choose your meals, your clothes. That's not fair. What's not fair is me standing here trying to figure out how I became disposable because of a woman who smiled in my face every time I visited. Daniel pulled something from his paquita, small velvet pouch. He slid it across the table. My heart dropped. What is this? The bracelet, the one you gave me. I know what it is. I didn't touch it. Wow, you even returned the part of me I gave you. How efficient. I thought it'd be respectful. No, Daniel. Respect would've been defending me to your mother. I didn't want to fight. No, you didn't want to choose. My hands curled into fists beneath the table. And you didn't have to. You just let her choose for you. He sighed. I didn't come here to argue. Then you shouldn't have come at all. There was a pause, a long one. I did love you, Emily. No, you loved convenience. You loved comfort. I was just easy until I wasn't approved. His jaw clenched. You're twisting things. I'm surviving them. The cafe around us buzzed with life, but I was numb to the noise. Every second felt like a slow, tight squeeze in my chest. He stood up. I'm sorry. I stared at the bracelet. Not as sorry as you'll be. He walked away. I didn't cry. Not right away. I just sat there, alone, staring at the space where he'd been. A waitress approached with a fake smile. Would you like anything else? I shook my head. I left the pouch on the table. Let someone else find it. Let the memories sit there and rot outside. The wind hit my face like a slap. I wrapped my arms around myself and walked. No destination, no plan, just steps, just breath. He said his mother hated me, like that was a reason to end us. But I wasn't done yet. Not by a long shot. I stood outside their house holding a box full of Daniel's things, his hoodie, his favorite mug, the watch he left at my place last week. My knuckles rapped the door, heart pounding harder than they. Hit Dot, it opened. Margaret, of course. She looked me up and down like I was dirt on her welcome mat. I'm here to return Daniel's stuff, I said quietly. Her eyes narrowed. How noble. I held out the box. Can you give it to him? She didn't move. I told him this would happen. Not here for a lecture. Shame. You could have used one 2 years ago. I gritted my teeth. Please, just tick the box. You really thought you belonged, didn't you? Margaret, I'm not doing this with you. You were never one of us, she said, arms crossed, chin raised. You're temporary. I loved your son. Exactly. Loved past tense. She smiled like it was a trophy. I blinked fast. You win, okay? You got what you wanted. Her eyes flicked to the box. He won't need these. Tracy already bought him new everything. My stomach twisted. Tracy? She leaned closer. Classy, blonde, knows which fork to use. A good match. I shoved the box into her arms. Here, give it to the garbage man if you want. She laughed. A high, cold sound. You always were dramatic. I turned off the door, slammed behind me like a gunshot. I made it 3 steps before the tears came. Hot, fast, ugly. I slid into the driver's seat and slammed the door. My hands shook. Couldn't even put the key in the ignition. My face hit the steering wheel. How did I let her win? A cad. How did I let him walk away? I sobbed into my palms, parked in front of the house that once felt like a second home. Now it felt like a graveyard. My phone buzzed. A message from Lena. You okay? Need me to throw hands or bring ice cream? I didn't reply, because right now, no one could fix this. I stared at the rearview mirror, mascara streaks, swollen eyes, weak. I hated it. I hated her. I hated that she looked at me like I was trashed. I acted like it. My hand found the gear, started the car, but I didn't drive off yet. I looked back at the house, the perfect porch, the polished windows. One day, I swore to myself she'd remember this moment too, and it wouldn't be with pride. Get up. I groaned and pulled the blanket over my head. Emily Carter. Lena snapped. If you don't get your butt out of that bed in the next 5 seconds, I swear I'll drag you out myself. Please don't, I mumbled. She yanked the blanket off. You've been in this dungeon for 3 days. It's not a dungeon. It's grief. It smells like socks and despair. I sat up, hair a mess, eyes puffy. What do you want? To save your life, she said. We're going out. No. Yes. I look awful. That's why we're going to the salon. Held up her phone. I already booked it. I'm not ready. You weren't ready to get dumped either, but here we are. I stared at her. That's harsh. So, was watching you cry into a cereal box for 2 hours yesterday? Was emotional. You were soggy and pathetic. But not anymore. She pulled open my closet. Where's that black top? The one that makes you look like you might punch a man. I blinked. You mean the one I wore on our Vegas trip? Yes, that one. You're wearing it. And these jeans. She tossed them at me. Double quotes, Lena. No more bargaining. No more moping. You gave that man 2 years. You're not giving him your soul too. I stood slowly. What if I'm not strong enough? She stopped and looked at me. Then I'll be strong for you, but I'm not letting you rot in here. I got dressed. She nodded in approval. Better. You still look like you've seen a ghost, but at least you're upright. Thanks. Don't thank me yet. We're not done. She drove like a maniac. I didn't complain. The salon smelled like coconut and chemicals. The stylist raised a brow. Break up. Lena answered for me. Psh, tragic. Burn it all. An hour later, my hair was trimmed, curled, and alive again. Then came the lipstick. Lena held up a deep red shade. This is war paint. I hesitated. Bold. Exactly. I took it, uncapped it, and stared in the mirror. What if he sees me like this? I asked Toe. She grinned. Let him choke. When we got back to my apartment, Lena pulled out a shoebox. I froze. What's that? Evidence? I opened it. Photos. Old texts. Movie tickets. Notes. Our history. I can't. You can? Say goodbye. I held the box for a long time. Then I walked outside and tossed it into the trash. Lena clapped once. And just like that, she rises. I smiled for the first time in days. I'm not there yet. No, she said, linking her arm with mine. But you're not where you were. You're Emily Carter. The man asked, smiling behind. Wire frame glasses. I nodded, twisting my fingers. Yes, sir. I saw the listing for the house manager position. I'm Mr. Harris, he said warmly. Please come in. The house was huge, old, elegant, but not intimidating. More like it had stories to tell if someone cared to listen. Would you like tea? He offered. I shook my head. No, thank you. I'm okay. He led me into the sunroom, lights spilling across patterned floors. The last manager moved away suddenly. It's mostly coordination, cleaners, repairs, keeping the guest rooms ready. I can do that. He tilted his head. You look tired. I almost laughed. That's generous. He gave a soft chuckle. Fair enough. I straightened. I just need a fresh start. Mr. Harris nodded slowly. That's a good reason. Looked around. It's beautiful here. It's quiet. People heal faster in quiet. I swallowed hard. Footsteps approached. A young man entered. Probably my age-dark hair, sharp jaw, eyes like polished slate. He didn't smile. "This is my son Noah," Mr. Harris said. Noah gave a slight nod. "You're the applicant?" "Yes." "You've done this before. I've handled worse." His eyes narrowed slightly, curious but unreadable. "You okay living on the property?" "I don't have anywhere else to be." "Honest," he said. "I don't have the energy to pretend." He looked me up and down. Something in his stare made me shift, not in fear. In awareness, Mr. Harris gestured toward a folder. "I'll need references." "I have them," I said, pulling out papers from my bag with slightly trembling fingers. He flipped through them, nodding. "Looks good. I know I'm not perfect right now, but I'm responsible. I show up. Sometimes showing up is the hardest part," Mr. Harris said gently. Noah crossed his arms. "She's got shadows. I'm working on turning them into stories." He didn't respond, just watched me like I was a puzzle missing the box image. Mr. Harris smiled. "You can start Monday. We'll prepare the East guest room for you." "Wait, I got it." "Unless you've got a secret criminal record I missed," he joked. "No," I laughed softly. "Just heartbreak." Noah tilted his head. "That kind usually leaves a longer sentence." I met his eyes. "Then I'll serve it in peace." Silence. Stretched. He looked away first. Mr. Harris rose. "Come, I'll show you the garden. It helps most people breathe again." I followed him, my steps unsure but real. Maybe I was still cracked. But for the first time in weeks, I wasn't breaking. I walked into the kitchen, humming. Clean counters, sunlight, peace, morning, Emily. Mr. Harris greeted, flipping through his paper. "Morning, I finished organizing the linen closet. Do you want me to check the pantry next?" "Later. For now, there's someone I want you to meet. She just arrived." I turned. And froze. No way. The woman standing there wore a crisp maid's uniform, hair pinned. Eyes low, Margaret. Margaret Reynolds, Daniel's mother. Her eyes met mine for half a second, then dropped like I wasn't even there. "She's new maid," I managed. Mr. Harris nodded. "She applied 2 days ago, needed the income, came highly recommended." I blinked. "You're serious?" "She'll be handling deep cleaning and errands. He'll oversee scheduling." "Is that a problem?" My heart pounded, but I shook my head. "Not if she follows instructions." "I will," Margaret said, voice flat. She didn't even flinch. "You two know each other?" Mr. Harris asked. "Briefly," I said. Margaret remained silent. "Briefly." I almost laughed. "She comes with experience," he continued. "You'll train her on the estate's routines." "Understood," I said, swallowing hard. "Let me grab the binder." So I turned. Her voice followed. "I don't expect special treatment." I stopped. "Good, because you're not getting any." Mr. Harris excused himself. The moment the door clicked shut, I faced her. "Didn't recognize me at first?" I asked. "I did." She replied coldly. "You looked surprised. You looked smug." "No." Shocked. Maybe a little entertained, but not smug. She straightened. "Life happens." "No, karma happens. This is karma." She inhaled sharply. "Don't think this changes anything." 8. "Already did." "You work under me now?" Her lips thinned. "Don't get used to it. I'm not here for revenge. But I'm also not here to be walked over again." She looked away. "I needed the job." "You think I didn't need Daniel?" "That was different." "No. You decided I wasn't good enough. And now you're scrubbing floors in my hallway?" "You don't deserve this victory." "It's not a victory. It's survival." Her silence was louder than any insult she'd ever hurled. "Here." I handed her the binder. "Start with the guest bathrooms." She took it wordlessly. "You'll clock in at 7, out by 5. Respect the chain of command." "That includes me." She nodded. "And Margaret." What? If you try to sabotage anything, I won't be. As quiet as I used to be, I'm not here to fight. Good. Then, let's get to work. She walked away, her shoes echoing on the polished floors. I stood there for a moment, breath uneven. The universe really had a sick sense of humor. But for one seat was laughing with me. Double quotes Margaret. I called from the hallway, clipboard in hand. Did you finish the silverware inventory? Almost, she said without meeting my eyes. I stepped closer. You've been working on it for 2 hours? There are over 300 pieces, she muttered. I raised a brow. Finished it in 45 minutes last week. She stiffened. I'll go faster. Good. After that, polish the marble in the west wing. And don't forget the guest bathrooms. Her lips tightened. I smiled politely. The toilets especially. Mr. Harris is particular about those. She didn't speak, just nodded and walked off. Shoulders rigid. I watched her go. No gloating, no smugness, just control. I used to walk these halls in heels, she said suddenly, turning. Not with a mop in hand. I remember I replied softly. Used to criticize the help. She flinched. Things change. Silence settled between us like fog. I'm surprised you haven't thrown it in my face, she said after a beat. No need. You already know. Her jaw clenched. Daniel doesn't know I'm here. That's not my business. She searched my face. You hate me. I don't. I said, honestly, I used to. Now, I feel nothing. She looked like I slapped. Her, I don't need revenge, Margaret. Just peace. She blinked hard. Peace. Yeah, you gave me pain. Now you're scrubbing floors, I cried over. The balance has shifted. I'm humiliated. I was too. Her shoulders slumped. I'm not here to punish you, I continued, but I won't protect you either. Do your job, that's it. And if I can't, then I'll fire you. She nodded slowly. I turned away, voice calm. Don't. Forget the moldings. Dust settles quickly in that room. She didn't answer, but I heard the cleaning cartwheels squeak behind me. I walked through the hallway she once owned like a queen, and now she was polishing the floor she once walked. Over me, on Emily. That voice, I didn't have to turn around to know it was him. Daniel, I slowly looked up from my clipboard. Same suit, same shoes, same perfectly combed hair. The suit he wore the day he shattered me. What are you doing here? My voice was flatter than I intended. He gave a nervous laugh. You look good. Claire peeked around the corner. Want? Me to stay. I shook my head. It's fine. She disappeared. I heard you're working here, Daniel said. I am. He cleared his throat. I wanted to talk. I don't. Emily, please. I crossed my arms. Make it quick. I made a mistake. You dumped me because your mother didn't approve. I know. You handed back the bracelet and walked out like I was a stranger. I know. Now you show up in that same damn suit and say what? Oops, I wasn't thinking. Clearly, he said. She got in my head. Thought I was doing the right thing. You weren't. I regret it, he whispered. I didn't say anything. Not a day goes by that I don't think about you. I tilted my head. You mean between dates with Tracy? He looked stunned. How did Claire saw you downtown last week? It wasn't serious. It didn't take you long to move on. Emily, I never stopped loving you. I took a step back. Don't what? Don't come here wearing that same fake smile, acting like we can go back. I just want a chance. You had one. You threw it away. I was scared. I was devastated. I didn't know she'd end up here. I froze. What, my mom? I didn't know she was working here. You think that's why I won't take you back because of her? I just know, Daniel. I won't take you back because I've grown. KU, you're still asking mommy for permission? That's not fair. It's not. Then why are you here now that I've picked myself back up? He reached for me. I stepped aside. You can go, I said. Emily, I said, go. He stood there for a moment, eyes glassy. Goodbye, Daniel. Then I walked away. Oh, my God, Emily. Kelly stormed into the break room, phone half hanging from her hand. What happened? I asked, You're not going to believe this? I just heard Margaret getting ripped apart by Mrs. Evans. I blinked. Margaret. Kelly nodded fast. Yeah, like full volume, no holding back, kind of scolding. What for? Kelly dropped into the chair beside me. Apparently, she broke a vase in the West Wing. Not just any vase. The Evans family heirloom one. Oof, that's not a... Even the best part? There's a better part. I mean, worse for her, better for us. Mrs. Evans called her maid like 10 times. Right in front of the kitchen staff. I stiffened. She is a maid. Yeah, but apparently some of the newer staff didn't know. One of the gardeners asked if she was some sort of guest house supervisor. Margaret never corrected them. I leaned back. Course she didn't. Kelly grinned wickedly. So now everyone knows, and I mean everyone. I may have accidentally mentioned it at the front desk. Kelly, what? I didn't lie. I just said Daniel's mom is our maid now. Loud enough for 3 interns to hear. I covered my mouth, Kelly. Don't act innocent. You're glowing. Not. You are absolutely glowing. I looked away. Didn't ask for this. No, but it's karma, babe, served fresh. I stood. Where is she now? Laundry room, I think. Haven't seen her since Evans dragged her in. I walked out and peeked down the hallway. Margaret stood alone by the linens, folding a towel with trembling hands. Her eyes darted up met. Mine and quickly dropped. She knew. She knew the whispers had started. I didn't say anything. I just watched. She picked up the folded towel, her fingers clumsy now. Behind me, Kelly whispered. She looked smaller. She used to walk through me like I didn't exist, and now she avoids eye contact. Kelly rested a hand on my shoulder. Feels good, doesn't it? I didn't answer. It didn't feel good. It felt quiet, cold, like winter before spring. Claire, do we still keep the donation boxes in the attic? She looked up from her clipboard. Yeah, far left corner. I nodded and climbed the narrow stairs. Dust clouded the air and silence blanketed the space. I knelt beside a worn-out, box-marked Emily college stuff. Curiosity pulled me in. Journals, old sketches, a coffee-stained planner. Then I saw it. My name, in faded ink. On an envelope, Dad's handwriting. My breath caught. My fingers trembled. I tore it open. I know you'll open this when you're feeling lost. Let me say this straight. You are. Not too much. You are not too soft. Don't let the world dim your light to make others more comfortable. You were born to shine, even if it blinds them. Love you always. Dad Charles Cartree pressed the letter to my chest and sank to the floor. My whole body shook. Tears poured Dudley, raw, choking tears. Why now? I whispered. Why did I forget you left this? My voice cracked as I read. The words again and again, till they blurred. Don't let the world dim your light. I stayed curled up until the sobs slowed. Then I wiped my face and stood. My knees ached. But I stood tall. I folded the letter carefully, held it like armor, and marched down the attic stairs. Claire met me halfway. You okay? No, she blinked. Do you want to talk or... I want to work. She studied me. You look different. I smiled. I feel different. Did you find something? Yes. I held up the letter. My dad reminded me who I was before I let people break me. Claire stepped aside. Then go remind them who you are now. I walked past her straight into the hallway. Head high Margaret stood at my office door, wringing her hands like a child about to confess. Can I talk to you? I leaned back in the chair. Go ahead. Her voice was barely above a whisper. I can't do this anymore. My fingers tightened around my pen. Do what, exactly? This job, this uniform, the stairs, the whispers. Her eyes welled. Emily, please, let me go. I stood slowly. Why now? I thought I could handle it. But they laugh. They mock me. Even the interns. And when I cried in your son's living room, what did you say to me? She blinked. That you were weak? Exactly. I stepped closer. So what does that make you now? She looked down. I'm ashamed. No, you're uncomfortable. Shame comes from change. Have you changed? She opened her mouth, then closed it. You haven't, I said. Not really. I said, please. Her voice cracked. Fire me. I'll leave. I'll go anywhere. I walked around her, stopped at the door, and shut it gently. You stay. Her eyes widened. What? You stay. You work. You scrub floors. You smile at the people who look down on you. Like I did when you destroyed me. She took a shaky breath. You want revenge? No, I said. I want accountability. I want you to feel what it's like to be powerless. Not for punishment, but for perspective. Margaret wiped her cheek. You're cruel. No, I'm kind. Because if I were cruel, I'd let you leave with your pride still intact. She turned toward the window. I can't breathe in this place. Then exhale and get back to work. She gripped the edge of my desk. You don't understand? I understand. Perfectly. You want mercy you never gave. Silence filled the room. After a moment, she whispered, You hate me. No, I said, calm now. I don't care enough to hate you. Her shoulders sank. I don't hate you, I repeated. But I won't protect you either. I walked past her, opened the door again. Guest bathrooms need mopping. Margaret hesitated, then walked out without a word. I leaned against the doorframe, staring at the spot where she stood. No victory, no joy, just silence and strength. My phone buzzed again. Daniel, I didn't even open it. Another message. Claire peeked at my screen. Yeah, I locked it. Still unread. Still unwanted. Claire raised a brow. You've got more self-control than me. Not control, I muttered. It's clarity, she smiled. You're glowing. No, that's just sweat from mopping conference room floors. Claire laughed. Whatever it is, it looks good on you. Thanks. I pulled my coat on. I'm heading out. As I passed the front desk, Noah looked up from his computer. Late night, always. I sighed. He stood, grabbing his backpack. You walking? Yeah, unless the universe gifts me a teleportation portal. I'm afraid I can only offer company. I paused. You sure? Positive. He held the door for me. Besides, I owe you for fixing my presentation slides. I was weeks ago, and I'm slow with gratitude. He grinned. We stepped into the quiet night. The air was cool, and the city lights blinked in the distance. So he said after a block, You good? Honestly, I glanced at him. Yeah, I think I am. He nodded. I noticed you didn't answer Daniel's text. I don't need closure from him. I gave it to myself. That's rare. Pain teaches you things books can't. True, he said. But you didn't let the pain make you bitter. I shrugged. Took time. He looked at me. You seem free. I am. I smiled. For the first time, I'm not waiting for someone to fix anything. We walked a few more steps in. Silence. Then, he said softly, You know, I like this version of you. I blinked. What version is that? It's the one who doesn't carry dead weight. I laughed. You've been practicing that line, haven't you? Maybe a little. He grinned. My phone buzzed again. Another message. Same name. Noah glanced at it. Still him? Still not opening it? You don't have to, he said. You're not who he lost. You're who you found. I looked at him, caught off guard. That was unexpectedly poetic. I contain multitudes, he smirked. You're ridiculous. I get that a lot. We reached my building. I stopped at the steps. Thanks for walking me. Any time. He said. I hesitated. Want to come up for tea? He smiled, but shook his head. Not tonight. Just wanted to make sure you got home safe. I nodded, strangely grateful. Good night, Noah. Good night, Emily. I watched him walk away, hands in his pockets, whistling something soft. No drama. No sparks, just warmth. Just peace. I opened my phone one last time. Daniel's name sat there, unread. I pressed hold. Blocked, and then I smiled. I'm really doing this, aren't I? Mr. Harris grinned as he slid the papers across the desk. You're not dreaming, Emily. You're the owner of Carter Property Management. I stared at the bold letters on the deed. My name, real, inked, permanent. Are you sure about this? I whispered. Investing in me like this? He leaned back. You earned it. You know, this estate inside out. And frankly, no one else here works as hard or leads as gracefully. Except Margaret, I muttered. He smirked. She still struggles with the mop. She always told me to aim lower. Funny how the floor became hers. You okay with her still working here? Needs the job. I met his eyes. And I need the reminder. Mr. Harris nodded. Poetic justice. No, just justice. As I signed the last form, Claire barged in, waving her phone. Daniel left town. I blinked. Left, like gone. Packed up. Quit his job. No forwarding address. I raised an eyebrow, running from shame. Probably, Claire said. Kelly said his last words were, I lost everything. Did he? I asked, then answered myself. No, he gave it away. Claire sat across from me. You okay? I'm great. You don't sound surprised. I'm not. Loved him. I loved the man I thought he was. And now, I looked around my office, my company, my new beginning. Now I love who I became because of him. Claire exhaled. Okay, that's a quote. I'm putting that on a mug. We laughed and it felt real this time. The door creaked open. Margaret peeked in, mop bucket in hand. Should I come back later? No, Margaret, I said calmly. Go ahead. She stepped in, eyes low. I didn't know it was your office. Sorry it is, I said. And you're not interrupting. She bent to scrub the edge of the floor. Her hands trembled slightly. Margaret, I said. She paused. You told me I wasn't good enough, that your son deserved better. She didn't respond, but look at us now. Still no reply. You mop. I manage. I know, she whispered. Wide. You really take this job? She looked up at me. 'Cause I needed to eat. Because pride doesn't feed you. And because... Maybe I was wrong. I blinked. That sounded almost like an apology. Don't get used to it. I almost smiled. Almost she returned to her task, scrubbing, silent. Small Claire whispered, You gonna fire her, no? I said, Let her work. Like I did. Claire nodded. That's strength. That's healing. I stood by the window as the city bustled below. I wasn't anyone's secret anymore. Not a discarded lover. Not a broken girl. I was Emily Carter, owner, leader, survivor. Noah texted, lunch. Later, I replied, You're paying. He sent back a laughing emoji. Claire handed me a set of printed business cards, hot off the press. I took one and read it out loud. Emily Carter, founder and director. Nice, right? Claire beamed. And the font screams, Don't mess with me. I laughed. Perfect. The intercom buzzed. Your noon appointment is here. Send them up, I said. Claire straightened her blazer. Boss mode always. As she left, I sat down behind my desk, adjusting the stack of papers. Sunlight poured. Through the glass, my name on the door. My rules. Margaret's mop squeaked down the hall. I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel pity. I felt peace and pride and power. I opened my notebook and scribbled the final thought for the day. He said his mother hated me. Good, because now she mops the floor I own.